not have to have the clerk on the check. She is a notary. That's it. A notary. She don't have to be on the check. That's why the bank keep cashing the checks. It's like, ask yourself the question.
Boom, they cashed a check. That had no signature on it. None. Like zero. Not even a scribble. And I'm sitting here like, what bank y'all know that's out here cashing checks with no signature on them? Not a real one. Not a forged one. Not even a doodle that looked like it say something. Like not even Mickey Mouse. Not even Seymour Butts. Not even Sesame Street. Nothing. Just vibes. Straight vibes and air. And you don't think that sound like fraud? Oh baby, it's giving fraudulent. It's giving inside job. It's giving somebody new, somebody, and now we out here looking stupid. You ever seen somebody lie with so much confidence that it's low-key evil? That's what this is. The look on her face while she lying. Diabolical. Just evil with it. And bold. What's up, y'all? It's Ya Girl. Insert your name here. Do me a favor, like the video. Subscribe. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Share this with your messy cousin and your nosy neighbor. Let's get into this because ... Baby, this story goes deep. So listen, this ain't a continuation of yesterday's tea. But it's from the same exact day. Because clearly the drama was on sale and everybody stocked up. Tiffany, yes, Miss Moo herself, because, yes, she had the cow print on again, decided she was going to try and come for the deputy clerk. Why? Because apparently sis got a raise. Except she didn't. They put the raise on paper, but she never actually got the money. But you know Tiffany? Give her a mic and she gonna give you a lie. And not a little one either. Full performance, Grammy nomination. But here's the wild part. In all the mess she's spewing, she lets something slip. Something that makes me think this village might be even messier than we all thought. Now we already knew there were bank issues, like messy. The kind where checks are supposed to have 2 signatures before they're valid, right? That's how it's supposed to work. But the bank, still cashing M. Just ... willy-nilly. No questions. No double checking. Just, oh, cool, you want this? Money? Here you go. Like, what? And I'm trying to give grace. Maybe it's incompetence. Maybe new hires. Maybe the bank folks were just as confused as the rest of us watching these clowns on city council act a fool. Maybe that's why the bank said, you know what, y'all gotta go. Dropped them, fired the whole village. But then I'm like, hold on, what if it wasn't confusion? What if it was collusion? Like, who do you know at that bank, Tiffany? Who got your back like that? 'Cause now it's not looking sloppy, it's looking suspicious. It's giving something ain't clean in the water. So now I'm invested. And when my brain starts to spiral, y'all know what that means? Yup, y'all coming with me? Too late. You heard me. You in the car now. Seatbelt on. Let's go.
You had salaries for the deputy clerk, 01-15-421. Now, how they complain about salaries all the time up here when people actually putting in the work, such as Stacey Correll. That man go cut down trees, do every complaint possible in this town. And when it was time for him to get a raise, they complained because they didn't have a say-so in his raise. But yet, y'all saw fit to give the clerk, deputy clerk, $10,000 increase, well really $15,000 increase, and she wasn't even here for 6 months. And I don't.
Okay, first off, who are these people? Like seriously, are they Tiffany and Tiffany? 'Cause it's feeling like it's Tiffany Hard and Henyard Tiffany. Same woman, 2 names, 3 titles, 5 checks. Sis got so many jobs she could file taxes in 4 different time zones. She gives herself positions, gives herself raises, then thanks herself in public for the good work she's doing. Girl, you're not above it, you underneath all of it, below the concrete. Basement level. And let me tell you something, anybody who's ever dealt with government money knows this. When you cut people's salaries, especially folks with contracts or appointed seats, they sue. And guess what? They win. They sue, they get their check back, and they keep the position. So now, why? Tell me why would y'all even try it? Y'all jeopardizing the whole damn village. Let's talk line item 01 to 1420. This is for the chief and deputy chief salaries. Originally budgeted at $317,000. They reduced it to $210,000. That's not a haircut. That's a full-on head shave with a Bic razor. And then somebody tried to act like it made sense. Talking about, well, Minery only makes $80,000. Okay, math time. That still leaves the department short by $40,000. And guess what? The current person, she making more than she's supposed to. Tiffany was real quick with the "you're out of order" the moment that part slipped out. Like she. Don't say that out loud, the villagers might hear you. Girl, we already heard. You can't hush a lie after it's escaped. It's out now. It's running around the room, and the best part? This is what they passed before y'all even got to weigh in. Nobody broke it down line by line before the vote. Nobody said, hey, here's what each of these codes actually mean. They just expected y'all to nod and smile like this was Sunday school. Chilly anyway. Moving on. 01224 to 1. This one here is for ESDA salaries. You know what that is? It's the little squad she revived once she became mayor. Like some dusty old village packman. SDA stands for Emergency Services and Disaster Agency. Sound official, right? All they really do is show up when there's an accident and block off the street. That's it. Cone duty. Brick movers. The block. Blockers. And let me tell you this. The same crew that showed up and dropped cement barricades overnight to shut down that annual car show. Yes, the same one that brings hundreds of people to town every year. But Tiffany ain't like that. The guy didn't want to move his event to her concert. Yeah. She wanted him to bring all the traffic from his show into her empty-ass party so she could fluff her attendance. She had about 7 people at that little parking lot concert and wanted it to look like 400, so she blocked the OG car show. Guy from doing his event in his normal spot, big blocks, dropped overnight. That ESDA crew, them her people. She don't need them for emergencies. She'll need them to move bricks when she'll feel petty. That's it. So we talking about people who are on call, right? On call. Meaning they work when needed, like Uber drivers. And they had $90,000 in the budget already. That's more than enough. But nope, she wanted to bump that department to $200,000. Why? For what? $110,000 increase for folks who come out when she wants to block off someone's driveway. Absolutely not. You don't give salaried money to part-time on-call barricade carriers. That's not emergency response. That's shady budgeting. And here's the gag. She always crying about how others hire their friends. Tiffany, who do you think these people are? You think we don't know? You think it's invisible? Ma'am, it's obvious. So here she go, talking about how that $110,000 difference could have gone to a second chance program. A second chance for who? Oh, that's right. She talking about her goons, her little crew. That's what she mean. But she trying to guilt trip you. Y'all say no until it happened to you. Okay, girl. You always acting like you one clap away from a bet award. Relax. She loves that little cheer she'll get from the one auntie in the crowd. Yes, girl. Ma'am. That's her fuel. Tiffany feeds off that one supporter in the back row, clapping like she in church. That's the only reason she'll be up there lying with so much confidence. Because, baby, it's the arrogance in the lie that get me see. Lying is one thing. We all lie a little. But when you lie with arrogance, that's when people get left. That's when marriages break up. That's when your mama stops speaking too. You when you get caught red-handed and still point your finger like you, the victim. That's what Tiffany doing. You got her on tape lying, and she's still yelling like somebody wronged her. Chilly. This is wild. Anyway, 0125421, yet another salary line. She'll say this one got slashed too during that secret Saturday meeting y'all weren't even at. Even though y'all were. She just don't like being corrected. This one's about her finance director. Budget was $155,000. Got reduced to $75,000, and now she crying again. Yeah, 'cause she don't even do her job right when folks ask her for info. That's Tangique, I think. Like seriously, why is she even getting paid if she ain't doing her damn job? If I showed up at work every day, climbed a ladder, sat on the roof, and just chilled for 8 hours straight, I wouldn't expect no paycheck. I'd just say, hey, I'm a bird now. Ah, that's just how your friends operate. Whatever. Sorry, got distracted. Proceed, proceed, proceed. Proceed, proceed. All right, here we go. 0141598. Other miscellaneous expenses. Originally budgeted at $65,000, they chopped it down to $15,000. And the best part? Nobody knows what it even covers. Like, I could have a miscellaneous fund for $12 million and y'all cut it down to $12? That's less than a dime. And still, nobody knows what that money's for. Miscellaneous could mean anything. Your middle name, your favorite flavor of ice cream, who knows? Why budget $65,000 for spontaneity anyway? That's just a number pulled out of thin air, right? And I swear that's how Tiffany got that wig. Hear me out. If Tiffany had a miscellaneous fund, I bet your town or the township paid for that fishing wire wig of hers. Almost $2,000, maybe $1,500 for that hideous mess. Where else would it come from? Miscellaneous fund. That's what happens when you give Tiffany that kind of power. Next thing you know, fishing wire wigs show up. This fund is supposed to cover stuff that might just come up, like things she personally wants to do, like sprucing up downtown or whatever. And girl, she literally said that. If there's just something I want to do, I do it. Did she hear herself say that? That's the miscellaneous fund in a nutshell. Her personal slush fund. Let me guess what she wanted to spend it on. Those signs everywhere downtown with her face plastered on every streetlight. You know those? The company that made those signs. They never got paid. Why? Because Tiffany planned on covering it with this fund that never had the cash. And don't forget Tinley or Bolingbrook, those fancy decorations with trees and lights. Yeah, that was supposed to come from the miscellaneous budget too. But nope, they yanked that from the budget too. Next up, 0141891, new Village Hall expenses. Budgeted for $85,000, now completely removed, $0. So what happens if the furnace breaks down in winter? What then? Guess you gotta pull money from somewhere else, 'cause that line item's empty. Nothing to fix the furnace, the heat, or anything else in this place. Just empty pockets. I'm pointing all this out so you really understand how this lie is being spun. And girl, I don't think lies are supposed to be this clear to everyone. When you lie, only you are supposed to understand why you lied. That's a secret for you, not the whole village, but Tiffany. She's reading these lies off like a grocery list and expects us to be in on the joke. I'm just saying. Now, 0142421 salaries for the maintenance department. Budgeted at $169,000. Reduced to $100,000. Listen, Scott actually comes out and does everything around here. He's a lifesaver. Fixes the public works, firehouse, police department, village hall, everything. He needs help. He's one person, burning out. So, logically, to keep things running smoothly, we need more help for him. But nah, they cut the budget. Here's the kicker. Remember that line item they completely cut for the village hall? The $85,000. Yeah, that's the one for building repairs. The maintenance fund is the other $100,000. So if the furnace or a C breaks down, Scott has to fix it, but without that extra $85,000. It doesn't make sense. I have 3 different budgets for the same job. Miscellaneous, building expenses, maintenance, all for fixing stuff in the village. And Tiffany Dunn told on herself because those line items were back to back. Somebody had to notice, like, wait, why can't Scott just fix the furnace with what he's got? Girl, she was just lying to cover her tracks. Anyway, $100,000 for maintenance. That's a cut from $169,000. More salaries gone, more people gone. And she's talking about how Scott needs help, but he's stuck alone now. That's because he was alone before the cuts. $165,000 for one guy and now less. That's not how you support your workers. That's how you set people up to fail. Okay, we're gonna skip ahead because this could go on forever. Next up is when the clerk responds, because of course Tiffany mentioned the clerk getting paid this money she didn't get. So, on to 0142598. Other, ... all right. Miscellaneous expenses, this one's for emergency repairs. I put $30,000 in the budget just in case something breaks down at the firehouse or police station. So we have funds to fix it right away. Now, here's the crazy part. There's 3 different line items for basically the same maintenance job. The firehouse, the police station, the village hall, all maintenance, but split into 3 separate budgets. That's some next-level diabolical accounting right there. I was going to skip ahead, but damn, Jesus, ... Next 0143549 other contractual services. Budgeted at $230,000. Y'all know I'm big on block-by-block cleanups. Going after vacant properties. This budget was meant to pay attorneys to go out and demolish houses that are just sitting there, rotting, becoming hangouts for squatters. I hear y'all complaining about those vacant homes next to you, so I put that money in the budget to fix it. But guess what? They removed the entire $230,000 from that budget. It's not a dime left to do anything for the residents. How you gonna say you care and then cut the funds for fixing what's ruining the neighborhood? And y'all, listen, I was starting to think. She was good at lying, but nah, she's terrible. What she's actually good at is keeping a straight face while she lies. That's her skill poker face and nothing else. Now, I want to jump to the clerk's response. That's where the real tea spills. Then Belshore jumps in talking about all the things they promised to do, especially the block-by-block cleanups, giving houses back to people. And guess what? Y'all still ain't done anything they said you would do. I've got a real problem with that, trustees, and that's not true. Of course, there's documentation. The bank literally has a photo of every check that gets cashed. You can see it digitally, the actual physical check, all of it. So yeah, there's proof out there of a check without a signature that got cashed, no doubt about it. But Tiffany, girl, she lie with confidence and gusto. She will lie just like she's doing right now. Look at her, coming in here dressed like a cow, just straight up lying. That's a terrible precedent to set. And look at this right here, Mr. Freeman. What's going on? This is crazy. I've never seen anything like this. These trustees, they wildin' out, and now here you are. So all right, we was full of expletive. It's true. Somebody please talk to the feds for me because I do not want to end up at Giselle prison. Ain't for me. They both need to go. Tiffany and Keith. I don't care how much you kiss ass. Keith, you're literally the definition of a snitch. I hate Tiffany, but snitching? That's weird. You ain't even in prison yet, and you already rolling over? Look, if someone's been locked up for at least a month and then decides to snitch, I get it. They've had time to sit, think, figure out where loyalty lies. But this dude? Nah, he didn't even get cuffed yet, and he already snitched on her immediately, snitching to save them, but not me. What do they mean to me? If you come back and snitch, then we know that person was clearly nobody to you. You were just keeping code for a stranger who didn't give a damn about you. So yeah, I get it. But this dude, it didn't even go to jail yet. He didn't even get arrested. I don't think he even got handcuffed, and he rolled over on her immediately. Helped her steal, then snitched pronto. Okay, so I ain't got no respect for you. Look, I appreciate that you told on her she wasn't right. But that don't say a whole lot about you. That's all I'm saying. Keith. And your wife, I can tell you got one by that ring on your finger. I'm sure she's feeling like you ain't shit. May her next husband be a better specimen. Okay, I'm done with that. Seems like there's a lot of expletive going on these days. Every once in a while. Mama just passes through something beautiful in the archive. A lesson to be learned. Honestly, I think the FBI might be looking into this. If there's any talk about checks being cashed without signatures, yeah, that's definitely suspicious. I could totally see why they ended up kicking them out, forcing their bank account closed. The bank was probably under investigation. Something to think about. Mama's brain is big. Okay, y'all behave. I'm not going to go deeper. Just know it's way too much fun on the internet. Mama loves y'all. Yes, she do.